What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're going to be checking out the Steam release of Rise of Industry, a game that I tremendously enjoyed, actually, the last time I played it. I ended up streaming it quite a bit over at Twitch TV/Splattercat Gaming, and I thought that it was a lot of fun, but it was limited in the scope of what you could accomplish the last time that I played it. Now that it's been about a year, and they've dropped it onto Steam, and it's no longer simply on itch.io, I figured we'd check the game out. We'd give it a little short playthrough and see what happens as we dive straight on in. So let's go into career mode. Let's get this thing started off. I've got it on experienced mode. I've pretty much got everything set up here by default the way that I want it for 100% difficulty. If you don't know what this game is, it's kind of like a logistical planner. That's essentially what this game is. It's all about moving objects from point A to point B. I'll talk about some of the things as I play the game, as we get a little bit further in, that I do and don't like about the title, hopefully, as we get moving along. But in general, I think this game shows a lot of promise, and I think this is going to be a really, really good industry manager once it's all done being developed. As of right now, though, we are up in an alpha/beta/alpha. There it is. We're in an alpha right now. And so, you know, there's always going to be tweaks and things that have been moved around to make a game better. Ooh, we got a river. That's very, very nice. Ooh, me likey. It's pretty rare that I get a river. Nice. Ooh, I like this playthrough. Ooh. This game got me all husky already. So what do we have here? We have an Ironmongery. We've got a wholesaler. We've got a number of little buildings up inside this city. And so really what we want to do is we want to figure out what we can supply in order to make our lives a little bit easier. Now, we got a farmer's market right there. We've got a nice even plot of land over on this side that I think will work out pretty well for us if we can make it happen. Off in this direction, we've got some copper. We've got some oil. When we build our headquarters, we should get the operating rights for this area. I still haven't figured out what these little lines are. I still honestly have no idea. I don't know if they're counties or what they're supposed to be. I don't know. There's like these little lines on the map now that divide things up, and I think it's actually I think it's the county lines essentially. So like the black line is for Phelps right here, whereas yeah, I think it's a county line in all honesty. I just didn't have time to sit and look at it. I was playing the game. I was too busy playing. But yeah, I think they're county lines, and so if you have a building permit, it's valid up until you hit this line over here, I think is what it does. But anyways, the game does have a fairly expansive tutorial. It's all written word and whatnot. So, you know, you're going to have to do quite a bit of well, that's a nice little spot for a headquarters. Yeah, let's put our headquarters right there. We got a headquarters now. So inside of our headquarters, we can do a number of things. We can do research, which is going to be pretty important. We probably want to get started on that about as soon as possible. We can do R&D so that we end up with more buildings and things that we can build. The last time that I played the game, all the buildings were just unlocked from the beginning and there was no tech tree. I do like the sense of progression that the tech tree lends to the game. We can take out loans right here. Our current loan is $10 million. We can pay it off if we want. But I don't know. I don't really. It's a 0% interest. I mean, where in the world do you get one of those? I guess you got to have a certain cash flow to get that, man. I tell you what, the student loan interest is like 8%. People out of their minds. People out of their minds. You ain't never paying that beast off. Good luck with that. 0% loan for $10 million. I got to find me one of those, man. I ain't never paying that bastard back. Please believe. All right. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set up water infrastructure. Now, I think we'll probably start off with some farming. It tends to be the easiest way to get things done. But honestly, one of the big things we probably look at is what they're buying here. So at the farmer's market, we've got hops. We've got oranges. Pretty much hops, oranges, and cocoa are in high demand. Everything else is in lower demand. I mean, you're getting roughly market prices for pretty much everything from here down. But still, we kind of want to focus on things that are going to generate the most profit. And they want hops. And they want oranges. Okay, there's a hardware store over here. The hardware store is looking like they are buying, what is that right there? They're buying cotton. So we could have cotton plantations and make a decent amount of money. We could also get wool, which you get from a livestock farm. That's at 115%. It's selling at a pretty decent price right now. However, you need to have some infrastructure built in order to actually harvest wool. I think we'll probably need a grain farm once we have a grain farm. So basically, there's multiple steps here, and it's consuming grain, which is why you're getting such a good price for that, because grain is worth like $5,000, $6,000 a load. It looks like they also want coal. They want oil, although oil is honestly not in that high of a demand in this area. What is that right there? Rubber? Okay, they want rubber and then sand. And then, of course, we've also got the Ironmongery. The Ironmongery is going to have a whole bunch of stuff that we, frankly, are not going to have time to fabricate right now. And so we'll stick to the farmer's market for the moment, although we will kind of play the game with a keen eye towards moving towards wool, I think. So let's go to our headquarters. Let's take a look at our R&D here. In our tech tree, there are all kinds of goodies in this area that we can mess around with. If we go to livestock, we got sheep over here. They need grain and they need water. So we'll probably start off with a wheat field. So we get 3 free unlocks. I'm going to take cocoa first because that's selling at a good price. I'm going to take wheat next because that's going to be something that we need in order to get sheep. And then I'm going to take sheep right there. And so there it is. We've got those taken care of. But we can also set up stuff from here on out. You start with 3 free unlocks. But as you get further into the game, you actually research slowly. And so the next thing that I would move towards is hops. And we'll try to move hops towards... There's hops and beef stew? What? I'm learning all kinds of things today. I'm learning all kinds of new things today. We'll probably get started with dranks, since we already have... Oh, orange fields are actually in here. Okay, we'll maybe start out with... I should have used one of my unlocks on oranges. We'll do oranges next, and we'll move towards orange juice because that's a fairly simple thing to produce that we can probably get paid a decent amount of money for should we be able to get it into the right hands. So we'll get oranges done first. It's going to take 60 days for oranges to get done. You can make that go a little bit faster if you wanted to push out more money. I wouldn't recommend it at this point in the game, though. You'd probably break the bank pretty quickly. We can also make canned mutton. That does not sound appealing at all. I'll be honest with you. Don't sound appealing. Don't sound appealing in the slightest. We need to make money first, though. And so in order to make money, we're going to need a water extractor because we're going to make a cocoa farm, I think. The cocoa farm, did it come from a plantation or did it come from a normal farm? Let's have a look here. So the cocoa plant, it's a plantation. Okay, good. There's a difference between a plantation and a farm in this game, and I always screw it up. And so I would like for my cocoa plantation to be right there. Pow. We have our cocoa plantation now. We can click on this guy, and honestly, I would highly recommend renaming these as you go along. So we're going to call this the Choco Compound. There it is. Awesome. We got the Choco Compound. Now that we know what we're producing right there, it's kind of one of those things that you really, really need. We can add fields as well. Make sure you add fields. They're kind of important. It bothers me that these don't line up flush. They do kind of line up flush that way, I guess. But they don't line up flush the other way, and it makes me sad. So there you go. I guess you can't have it all. I'm being greedy. And so there's our first cocoa compound, our Choco Compound. Unfortunately, in order to grow cocoa, we're also going to need water. Luckily, we have a river, which is like one of the best things ever. It's super rad. We definitely want to have that. Are they buying fish over here? They are at 105%. We may put in a fishmongery as well. We might. We just might. In order to keep this, so this is kind of a long haul right here. If we're trying, is there a closer water supply? So water supply right there, but we'll be penalized for it, unfortunately, because it's too close to the town. So I think right here is probably where I'll try to put it. If we go to, let's see here, we've got logistical buildings. I don't think I want that. We can also go with a, where is it at? I know we can catch fish around here somewhere. There's a fish dock. I might need to unlock it first. Although I thought you always started with the fish dock. There's the Fisherman's Pier. I don't know if the Fisherman's Pier needs anything. I'm not, like, positive about that. But I'm pretty sure... it has to be built on a shore tile? This is not counting as... there's one right there. We can do it right there. Yeah, do it. You might as well. I mean, we've got these little fishery areas, so... can I fit this little guy right here? Put this little dude right here. Sounds alright to me. We'll put this guy right here. Perfect. And I think that should be... can I fish from right there? There we go. Fish from right there. I assume these guys are going to bring back fish. And so we've got 3 harvesters right there. It takes 10 days. Got a little bit of upkeep. We are going to have to run some roads in order to make this work. But it should work for... there we go. We'll put in a little dirt road right there. We're going to be taking our goodies over here to the farmer's market once this gets done. So we got some fish coming through. We will just take those straight to the farmer's market. It's that easy. 35 tiles to get over there. 3 trucks a day should get it. One of the things I don't like about this game is how hard it is to fine-tune your trucks, though. I personally would very much like it if you could, so you got to choose how many trucks you want to send out. Every single truck will cost you like $400, roughly. So if you send out 5 trucks, it's going to be about $2,000 a day per building that's sending out trucks. Right now, it's global. So let's say that I had 3 destinations. It just kind of picks randomly between those 3 if they're at the same priority level. And I haven't been able to figure out exactly how it dispatches things based on priority level yet. So let's say that I was sending fish to 3 different fish markets, and one was at 1 priority, 2 priority, and 3 priority, with 3 being the highest. It'll send the ones to 3, and I don't know if it's once 3's full, it defaults down to the lower ones. I don't know how that system works, unfortunately. What I would like to be able to do is that each of the destinations, this right here, would move to right here with just a plus or a minus with a little truck symbol or something, and you would be able to tailor how many trucks you want to go to each location per day. That would solve my headaches so much with, like, logistical distribution in this game. It really sincerely would. It would fix my life. And so anyways, I would like to see that. Right now, the trucks are a little random, and sometimes it doesn't send what you want them to send, but kind of is what it is. Hopefully these work out. I don't think these need to be placed on top of the fish, I don't think. I think as long as there's fish inside of its radius, it should be good. And as you can see right here, it's actually started the triple harvest. Each one of those is going to be 1 load of fish. Now, the reason we came down here, we needed a water harvester. And so in order to make that happen, I'm going to go with an extra tile road right here. And then we're going to kind of just subdivide this area the best that we can with roads. We need a water extractor, however. Now that we know there's no more fish down here, there's really no point in overfishing this area. This is pretty much all the fish that we're going to be able to get for right now from the river. But it'll work out. This is probably detrimental to the environment in all kinds of horrible ways. But, it's a Tycoon game. We don't think about stuff like that. We don't think about things like that in Tycoon games. What is the rule of Tycoon games? We don't think about things like that in Tycoon games. If we destroy the environment, oh well, my profits. We need to add harvesters. And so I can put harvesters in pretty much wherever I want. I like it when I get rivers because I can keep my harvesters organized. That's my favorite part about rivers, is it just makes things nice and organized. So there goes our trucks right there. Those are going to take things off to the fish market. Right here, we're going to get, it looks like, about $4,000 per load of fish. So each one of these trucks, $4,000 worth of fish. As of right now, our current month's balance, we're still $8 million, $9 million in the black. That'll change next month. Don't you worry. Next month, they gonna make us pay. What I would do is I would just take a little... I don't think I want that to go all the way around right there. Instead, we'll just have that go right there. So right there. And there you go. We've got our first water harvest going. Now, we need to decide where this water is going to go from water siphon 1. So I'm going to call this cocoa water, which sounds like something super filthy, but there you go. It's starting to charge up. We're getting a little bit of water that's being taken in right here. I love how the little boats actually move around and stuff and do things. This game is tremendously animated. It makes it a lot of fun to play. Like, I love the graphical style, kind of the, I don't know, kind of like the Kingdoms and Castles style low poly design. I think that's a very, very good design aesthetic in all honesty. Like, there's no like flashy textures or anything like that, but everything looks like what it is using pastel colors and things of that nature. I've always really, really liked that design. And as you can see, we've got these trucks going over here to the water harvester. So the water harvesters are going to the water storage plant, and then from there we'll take this water and we'll drop it off over here at the cocoa compound by going to our distribution center, and we will say, hey, take this and take it on over to our farm, the Choco compound. So there it is. You will see little trucks leave from right here, loaded up with water bottles, all these little ampules of water or whatever the hell they are. Our trucks are going over here, and as you can see, we got paid money as the fish get dropped off. Now, the nice thing about this game is that you can also affect the growth. Oh, it's gone down. Apparently, they don't want that much fish. I was hoping the fish market would stay kind of profitable for a little bit because it's an easy thing that just, we don't need anything. That's the thing, is it just produces free money. It's just free money, and that's the best thing about it. And so I was hoping that the market would stay stable on that, and we would continue to get like 115% for a while. But it looks like we're not going to be that lucky. So the rough way that this works is if you store up too much per month, so this only needs 8 per 15 days. If we store up more than 8, the price will go down because they have a surplus. However, if we can keep it right on track, what'll end up happening is if we go to the city, it'll say that the prosperity of the city is growing. And so as we bring industry to this town of Benbow, the population will go up, and as a result of that, the city will address the fact that we're responsible for all the people coming in here and all the tax revenues and whatnot, and so our influence will go up, and we'll be able to influence kind of politics in this area and make ourselves more profitable. Our research for the orange fields is moving along right now. I'm pretty happy about that. We're dropping off water at this site. We'll want to keep an eye on it and kind of figure out how profitable it is. So we need to figure out if we're going through our water very, very rapidly or if there's just enough water coming here per day. My assumption would be that there's probably just enough water coming in right now. So 30 days production time right there, 10 days right here. We're dropping off 3 loads of water in the amount of time. Well, not 3 loads of water, but somewhere around there. My thought is that we're probably good on this one. It takes a full month for us to get a harvest. That's a little rough. It's not going to be insanely profitable, but we should be okay. Let's speed the game up. And this is one of the reasons why I want to be able to tailor my trucks per location. I think this place should stack up water pretty quickly. Like, I think they should end up with surplus water very, very rapidly. And the problem with that is this place can only store 99 units of stuff. And so we really don't want to mess around too much with filling this place up with water. Otherwise, you end up with issues. And so I would say actually just send 2 trucks a day to that location. You can also put this on auto mode. So once you have warehouses, you can set up warehouses to handle your water distribution for you. But once again, the same issue arises with the trucks where you can't really like tailor where you want all the trucks to go every single time. It looks like we're done with our farm right there. So we can actually make oranges now. I'd probably set up an orange plantation down here somewhere. We've got our first load of cocoa beans. Oh, nice. You get 8 loads of cocoa beans, though. That's pretty dope. Yeah, take those to town, man. Take those to town. You might as well. Take them to the farmer's market and send 3 trucks a day should be satisfactory. I don't think we need 5. 5 might be overdoing it ever so slightly. But our goal right now is, as you can see with this month's balance, we've actually got ourselves kind of in the negative by $75,000. And so we want to see if we can bring that up to positive. Now, as I understand, these cocoa beans are going to be very, very valuable. And so we should be able to do something nice with them, I think. How much are we going to get paid for that cocoa? We'll wait for the pop-up. Cocoa beans, how much you worth? Do we drop off that cocoa bean? I don't think the cocoa beans got sold. So we're still in the negative for right now. The cocoa beans and the fish appear to be doing their thing. They only want 7 cocoa beans per 15 days, though. So, oh, good. Demand has gone up, actually. It's partially supplied. Nice. Yeah, I think this will be all right. I think this will be okay. So we dropped off all of our stuff right there. We honestly don't even need to send out that many trucks. There was the money right there that came through, but we're still in the negative. I think we're going to need more crops that grow a little bit faster if we want this to work. But we are dropping things off at the farmer's market right now. And so we're only losing a small amount of money. So you can't even see, like, we're losing like 0.04 per month. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The orange field is done. The hop field is working along. Now that we've got that all set up, what I'd like to do is let's get an orchard going. Let's get a nice little orchard settled on in right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on that corner that I did on the last corner. Down at the corner, building some trees. There we go. And so we've got an orange field right here. That's the only actual orchard that we have, so that works out great. From this place right here, are they stocking up water right now? Like, do they have too much water? They do have too much water. Nice. So what I'd like to do is let's take 5 trucks right here, and we're going to send this on out to our orchard. And so some of these trucks should divert over to the orchard, I would hope. We'll call this Oranges 1, just to keep things organized so that when we click on this thing, we instantly know where all of our stuff is going. So Choco Compound and Oranges. I find that making sure everything is like visibly labeled and taken care of in this game will make your life much, much easier. Please believe. Don't mess around with it. I do want to watch these trucks right here and see if any are actively going on over to the orchard. They are. Good, fantastic. I'm really glad to see that. That's going to help out a little bit. In our production queue right now, it looks like these are very thirsty crops, though, so it's going to take us a little bit of effort to get it over there. They have just enough water right there. The cocoa has been taken out, so that's good. Let's go ahead and lower the amount of trucks to get our overhead down, because I'm pretty sure they're taking a full load anyways. Another thing they never quite tell you is how much goes into a truckload. I would like to know how many units go into a truckload. Maybe it was in the tutorial somewhere. I did play through the tutorial, but honestly, I was skimming, and I had music on and stuff like that, and so I don't know. So we are growing over here. We do need to choose a place for that to go. I would say just take this to the farmer's market right there. I mean, it looks like they sent out 2 trucks, so my assumption is that we're not going to need more than 2 trucks, so we might as well keep overhead low. They're on 2 trucks right there, and I don't really see much of a surplus of most of the things that they have going on right now, so they've got 1 extra water right there. They've got 6 extra water right there. I think we should be all right. It looks like both of these buildings are starting to store that up, but that's good. We've got that in equilibrium right there, which works out great. As long as they're still both producing at all times, I will be a happy camper. I would say to maybe raise the priority of the oranges slightly, but this is the problem, is it's hard to like tailor decide what goes into each, especially since production time is 30 days right there. Like, I would like the trucks individually to go to these, where I can decide where each truck goes. That's a big change that I think would make the game much easier to kind of fire and forget when it comes to your logistics. So we're sending things to town now. We're making a little bit of money. We're not making a ton, but we are moving things over. And, you know, we're supplying all the things that they want right now that are in high demand. And so I think it'll work out in the long term. Yeah, there it goes. For the first time, we're actually in the black right now. So we made $10,000 this month. And it looks like we've still got some extra time, too, to send in a few more things. And so if we can sell those before the end of August, I think it'll be good for us. I think one of the big factors in us making money right now, yeah, we made $100,000 that month. Very nice. We just rolled over into our next fiscal month, though, which is why it dropped off so quickly. But we are actively profitable right now, which is great. Yeah, they're not getting enough water on that side at either location, so we're going to need another water extractor. We're going to need another water extractor, although that's probably going to overload both of these locations. And so this is where the game gets complicated, where we're going to need like a 3rd location to take the overflow. Let's put another one of these guys right here. There you go. And so we'll take those. They're kind of far out, I think, and not like in the fun, not in the fun like 60 cents. We'll go over here. There we go. Just get like a main thoroughfare. Probably kill off that road right there because I want to save that space. These guys right here, we got to decide where they're going to be taking their stuff. We're going to send, honestly, I think 5 trucks a day. I don't even know if it's sending out the 5 trucks a day from the cocoa water location. It don't look like it's producing enough water. I would say just send out trucks as you have them. But I'm pretty sure it's not even sending out 5 trucks. So what we want to do right here for right now is we will send out oranges and Choco Compound. 3 trucks a day should give them a surplus of water. That is, after all, our goal here, is that we kind of want to make sure that, and since with this one right here, we want oranges to be at a slightly higher dispatch priority. Because this place is getting favoritism from cocoa water. We want this one to get favoritism from oranges. So there it is. Oranges. I'll just leave it how it was. It's a typo, but it's a typo that makes me happy, so screw it. Good. And they're starting to stock up water. We can dump the water if we want to. I mean, it's also an option is that we can send... So how far are we from the border here? We can also say, hey... we can send some of that water if we want. I mean, I don't think we can send it from here. I think they might end up with a little bit too much water right there. I think we done overdid it. But it's okay. We'll add another orange farm over here. Actually, we'll add a hops farm. We'll do a crop farm right here. Kind of diversify a little bit. Looks great to me. Oh, we'll call this hops. So set this as a hops farm. What we'll do instead is instead of having this on dispatch priority 2, we'll have it on dispatch priority 1. This right here will go to crop farm number 1. This will be hops. There we go. And so we've got hops farm all taken care of. I'm actually going to relabel that real fast. And so that's been taken care of, hops farm. We should start to see things go out right here. We'll call that 5 trucks a day. Put that on dispatch level 2 for the hops farm. And hopefully we'll get some trickle through water over here. They've got a little bit of a surplus anyway, so who cares? We'll just make sure the hops farm is supplied first. And so look at this hustle and bustle. Look at this hustle and bustle. Once we're done with the hops farm, we just want that to be sent to market. Pretty much all that we need to do. And so there you go. We're trying to make ourselves some money right now. Every single time we open one of these up, though, it does increase our overhead. So you need to make sure that you're supplying the thing that the city needs. Otherwise, you're not going to make enough money to be okay. What is this over here? Like a sand farm? They're just dredging up sand? God, we are just butchering this environment. This place is prospering, and therefore the population in the last couple months has gone up by almost 30,000 people. The town type is heavy industrial. Actually, 170,000 is a pretty sizable city where I live. That's a pretty beefy city where I live. Like, it's not like a big city, you know what I mean? But I'm hard-pressed to think of too many cities around where I'm at in the San Francisco sprawl that are greater than 180,000 people. Like, I'm in the East Bay. There are places that have more than 180,000, but most places are right around 100 to 120,000 for the cities around here. And after that, people start moving out because it starts getting a little too city-like. They start going to some of the smaller areas, and the process just repeats itself. And that's how the sprawl happens, is they just keep getting further and further away from San Francisco. That's how sprawl happens. Somebody's like, I'm going to start a city 5 feet further than the last city. And then you end up with just this giant mega city that goes on forever that technically is San Francisco, but technically is not San Francisco. We're making about $100,000 a month right now before our fiscal month rolls over, so that's really, really good. But yeah, this is Rise of Industry, and this game can get really, really complicated. I mean, you end up starting supply chains, so what'll happen later on is we'll be using the hops for beer, we'll be using the oranges to make orange juice, we'll be using the cocoa to make chocolate itself, and then you end up with much more expensive. So we got a flood, a sudden flood. Oh, my farm production is down by 75% this month. Weak, you guys. So there are random RimWorld style events that are going to mess with you too, so keep that in mind. But anyways, this is Rise of Industry. If you want to get the game for yourself, you can do that. I got a link for you down below. I would love to share the game with you. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. It helps out more than you know. My name is Splattercat. I'm a variety content producer here on Twitch and also on YouTube, both. If you wanted to find out the latest and greatest in indie games, that's what my channel does here on YouTube. And then I tend to play them a little bit more on Twitch, a little bit more in depth, so you can get a feel for whether or not, you know, after a 5 or 6 hour gameplay session, it's for you. I will see you all later. Thank you for stopping on in. Hi, do everybody, and take care out there.